Today we are going to go over two variations of a banded hip extension. One that's going to feel a little bit more squat dominant and another one that's going to feel a little bit more hinge dominant, okay? So prerequisites before you add the band, doing it with just your body weight. So the squat dominant hip extension, seated on your heels, legs together, a coordinated breath to bring you all the way up. A lot of activation through those quads, glutes, and core, and you drop back down, up and down. The movements aren't going to change just because we add the band, right? So secondary, one that feels a little bit more like a hinge, legs together, everything turned on from my glutes, my abs. I'm going to hinge over, my butt moves back, but not all the way down to my heels, and then I'm going to drive my hips forward to come back to my upright position. So down and up versus down and up, right? Chest is a lot more upright in the one that is more similar to a squat movement. Chest bows down and comes up for the one that feels a little bit more like a hinge, deadlift, RDL type of movement. So let's look at this with the band on. I've got my band anchored. Right now I'm using the Assault Bike as an anchor. If you have a vertical upright, I would pull the anchor point up just a little bit higher. This one is anchored low. That's okay. That's what I've got. I'm going to pull the band right above my pubic bone underneath my hip bones. Then I'm going to come down to my kneeling position. Okay, so the first one, we'll do one that is more similar to that squat. Right now, I can feel the band wanting to pull me back. I'm going to resist dropping down and then fire to come up, okay? So don't let the band just pull you down. Utilize the band's resistance on the way down and then resist it on the way up, okay? So obviously that's the one that is a little bit more similar to the squat. The chest stays a little bit more upright, the butt's dropping back and down and then coming up. The hinge motion starts more from the top position, so you're going to come all the way up to that tall kneeling position. Lock it in from the very beginning. My butt's turned on, my rib cage is down, my tailbone's tucked under ever so slightly. I'm going to get a little bit of lat engagement by pulling my shoulder blades down, and then I'm going to bow, keeping everything tight, drive at the hips to come up, down, and up. How could you make this a little bit more challenging? You could put a barbell, training bar or regular size barbell on your back and go through these same motions. You could hold a kettlebell or a dumbbell at your chest. Make sure the principles of the movement aren't getting lost though. We want core activation, quad, butt, and we want to think about how strong we are through the entire range of motion. Don't just bust the reps out. This is a great exercise to add to your warm-up or your accessory work. Let me know if you have questions.